What's happening? Hope you're doing well today. Coach Chris here talking about moderation and the sweet spot. This morning for breakfast, I had this blueberry smoothie. I had blueberries, ice cubes, banana, almond butter, protein powder, chia seeds. It was fantastic. I even threw a couple of cups of teaspoons of oats in there. And this smoothie, combined with 2 scrambled eggs and some egg whites, hit what I call the sweet spot. So I'm full. I was full, but not too full. Got plenty of protein, plenty of good nutrients. And it's that kind of start to the day for breakfast that just gets me fired up. I'm ready to take on whatever comes my way. Not every breakfast has to be the same, but I found that finding consistent quality foods, nutrient-dense meals, helps kickstart my day and sets the table for everything else that comes. So the sweet spot. In tennis terms, this is the center of your strings. It makes that pop sound, that smash of an overhead, the serve, the forehand, anything, when you hit it clean and good, it's just right. So, and this happens, you can hear this with a golf club, that pure sound of a clean hit, a baseball, the barrel of the bat on the ball in a ballpark. In the pros, you're going to hear the wooden bats, that crack of the wooden bat. You just know when you hit the sweet spot. But how does this relate to other areas of life? How does this relate to nutrition and fitness and decision making? I think about sports, and I've been a huge sports fan all my life growing up in St. Louis. Definitely love hockey and baseball. And I think about the sweet spot in terms of cheering passionately for your team, genuinely wanting them to do well. Who doesn't want that? Attend the tailgates, host watch parties, buy jerseys. And at the same time, when a loss happens, you're not completely devastated because you have other things in your life. It's not life and death. When the Blues won the Stanley Cup in 2019, that was magical. I was ecstatic, overjoyed. And I knew that there was also more to the picture, more to the story, because as soon as the team gets back, it heightens expectations. They're expected to do it all over again. And it's hard to repeat that same success with the same players and the same coaches, and other teams study that the way that won. They try to copy that and figure it out. And you have to constantly reinvent yourself and your strategies. So it's hard to repeat. It's hard to sustain repeated success. The sweet spot is about more than just going all the way. It's about moderation. It's about that middle ground of caring, but not caring so much that you don't have anything left to contribute, or you don't feel completely like lost or directionless. You still have a sense of getting back to fundamentals, a solid foundation of values, teamwork, empathy, caring for other people, faith, family, friends, freedom. And you come back to those and you're ready to get back to work. It's a reminder of, let's say you want to do big things in the writing world. So you start a blog, you start a website, you publish posts, maybe a newsletter. The sweet spot in terms of the writing is acknowledging, yes, I've made progress. I took these ideas from these journals that I had and I started putting them out into the world. And it's also, so it's appreciating that progress while acknowledging there's so much work left to do if I plan on writing a book. That's going to take a tremendous amount of research and interviews and time. The sweet spot. The other day, I was at a drum circle for the first time, hitting these African drums. I should say more slapping, trying to get the technique right. And I've never done this before. I was with some people that were very kind and supportive and encouraging me, showing me how to play. And every time, if you tap with your fingertip, it makes a different sound than if you hit it with your palm. And so I was just learning with that. And all of a sudden, this fight started to ensue. So these guys were getting into it. One was getting on the other about being too loud, because in the drumming circles, you want to have volume control. And you're playing and you're trying to find a rhythm and a beat with everybody. And it's cohesive. There's a teamwork centered approach to it. And if one person's being too loud, it can disrupt things. So these guys started getting into it, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I just know one person in this circle. Do I intervene or do I just let them work it out? Have you ever been in that situation when a fight's about to break out in public and you're not quite sure what to do? The guy who was irritated, who was making too much noise, ended up leaving. But it could have been ugly. Nothing bad happened. The point is that by putting yourself in more situations, you start to learn when is the right time to stand up and say something and when is the right time to sit back. And maybe silence is the right answer. I don't know. That's a hard thing to decipher. Another thing that's hard to learn is limiting my intake of the Death Wish coffee. That's been my go-to lately. It's strong brew. Sweet spot. It's more than just tennis. It starts with tennis, applies to every area of life. Physical growth, emotional growth, spiritual, social. Emotional regulation. How can you regulate your emotions and keep a level head so that no matter what life happens, no matter what gets thrown your way, you have this inner peace, this calm sense of relax. You got this. You can handle this. You've been here before. That's the sweet spot. In the gym, training clients, taking them through workouts, there's this sweet spot where you can find that the workout is challenging but doable. So you push them hard, you challenge their bodies, test their strength, flexibility, endurance, stamina, and balance. Okay, so we tested that. How do you feel? Well, tired, but good. It was a good workout. Then I asked them how they feel the next day. Sore, but I'm okay. So the right blend is pushing them just beyond their comfort zone and not to the point where it's beating up their joints and they're sore for 3-4 days. At that point, when that happens, adjust. How can we make this better? Less sets, one less set, a few less reps, less weight, however that may be. That is a constant work in progress, but I'm excited to see how that continues and how else I can grow as a coach and personal trainer. I moved to Springfield, Missouri about 7 years ago. So 2017, fast forward now, the big 2024. Lots of growth, lots of experiences, tons of different jobs and roles. And I've chosen roles lately that I know will push me out of my comfort zone, that will force me to be more of a conversation starter, improve my communication skills. I've sat down at a computer in many different types of jobs, customer service and marketing. So improving those written skills, learning how to craft a sentence and just be a wordsmith. And now it's time to do this, putting my face in front of a camera, talking about things that matter to me, and trying to connect with others out there who see a future in video and YouTube and see how this platform can help grow an online audience. Wherever you are today, I encourage you to find your sweet spot socially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. See you soon. Peace.